Hi, we're here. Hello, happy VN Sunday. Sunday morning. I promise I'm awake. Requisite dad joke insert here. I'm joined by our usual suspects, I guess, in this case. Um, Jacqueline,
That's how
Jane,
I prefer to be
PB.
referred to.
Hmm?
That's how I prefer to be referred to, yeah.
We're the usual fuckers. We're here.
Yeah, one of those guys.
One of those guys. Yeah, this is correct. Okay. Um, your stream homework, gamers, is to determine what your top 10 games of all time are. I expect a list on my desk by the end of stream, and by desk I mean stream chat in the Discord. Do it. Do it.
Pivot.
I just threw us directly back into it. We're about to go to court. It's fine.
I feel like Morgan would really enjoy the sheave pivot post. That feels like
I
my kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right.
All right.
Jane.
Morgan, please, this is...
Hold still and relax. This'll be over soon.
I thought you were joking about the makeup.
Of course I wasn't joking. You can all hear us okay, right? I'm pretty sure everybody's unmuted, and I'm staring at... Okay, there it is. I was like, I'm staring at desktop audio, and I know that it's just because it's quiet and no one is talking, but I was like, nothing is happening.
Uh-huh.
A face like yours is invaluable in the courtroom.
And do you think covering me in concealer and blush and applying eyeliner will help me appeal to what demographic exactly? Me,
You know
it appeals
the-
to me.
You know the names of all this stuff?
I'm a modern man. I know the names of many things, including makeup.
Oh.
Is that your eyebrow gel?
Yes?
It's cakey.
Oh my god.
Do you want to do the rest?
I think some of the jury might find that his wounds make him look rugged. And furthermore, from an aesthetic perspective, leaving some of his buttons undone will.
I love this for her. I love this for her. I'm also glad that we have Jacqueline dialogue this time, because I feel like Jacqueline didn't say anything on the last stream.
Jacqueline got shafted last stream.
Hey, that's alright.
Excuse me?
You are clearly a very devoted martial artist, Sosuke. You should be proud to display your well-defined collarbones as the fruit of your efforts.
Morgan, ace lesbian, confused as fuck. Just hold still. Appearances matter in the courtroom. 95% of defendants who are ever seen in prison garb at trial are found guilty.
I don't doubt that your tactics work, Morgan.
My tactics included getting your suit pressed. Do you want me to wrinkle it back up?
I just find them unpalatable. Trying to get the jury, these civilians, to pity me is shameful.
You're worried about honor? Really? You're already a cybernetic ninja, Sosuke. Don't be a stereotype.
Oh my god.
Don't you call other people stereotypes.
He's right, Adonai. And he's more of a cybernetic samurai, since he's sworn himself to a wealthy landowning noble.
I'm confused, Sosuke. Is it honorable how your family makes their money? Made their money?
I'm not talking about morality, I'm talking about having principles. Yes, they're subjective, and yes, they can be hypocritical. But the further you stray from the common path, the more you need them. I mean, what about her? What would Sarah be like if she didn't have tennis to guide her program?
Well, I can only imagine. Yeah, loyalty above morality. You're so real for this, Sosuke. So true, bestie. But some people, believe it or not, enjoy their freedoms.
Adrift in the middle of the ocean, you're free to go in whatever direction you want. But without a compass, you'll just die of exposure.
If you only ever follow exactly what the compass says, you'll sail north until you freeze to death.
The point is, if you have a compass, you know which direction north is.
You two really love metaphor, don't you?
Fortunate for us all, then, that the state is a 1,000,000 megawatt North Star pointing towards complacency at all times.
And the media is like the wind, and without wind, you'll get stuck in the tide.
Sarah, that was actually pretty good.
It was, a nice try, Sarah.
Damn, come on!
Cold.
Forget it. Do whatever you want with your brushes, woman.
I think this is one of my favorite lines of dialogue we've gotten. Oh, and
Sosuke, you're gonna
pouting
make a beautiful butch lesbian.
And you're pouting again. Great. Sarah, just keep him talking.
Morgan's defense strategy is just force spamming the client every time.
I would
good
vote not
strategy.
guilty every single time.
Slams that not guilty button.
What? If I'm talking, how will you...
Oh, trust me, I've done more delicate work before. Sarah, small talk.
Gladly, Adonai.
What do we want
Was
first?
Sarah making this? Tattoos. Sosuke, do you happen to have any tattoos?
Are the jury going to ask about that or something?
They might.
Oh. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do have a tattoo, a common eye on my back.
Komainu, a guardian dog.
You have a tattoo of a dog?
It's a fierce guardian deity.
Like a Labrador, or...
Like a great, fierce... a big dog.
Yeah. Honestly, real.
That's
He's
your
real.
first soda, Ben.
He's real for that one.
Perhaps you should have it changed to some other design, like, say... like a dragon. We need to stop Sarah from playing fucking video games.
I love Sarah being a fucking little weeb. It's so good.
Sarah doesn't play video games, but she does watch video essays about 50-year-old video games.
Oh, you're so
She's
right.
watching like
Constantly in the
long
background.
plays at like ×5 speed.
What's Sarah's top 10 video games of all time?
Like a Dragon 17 was pretty good.
Oh my god.
There's no switching.
Well, the buyer's remorse must be unbearable.
There's no buyer's remorse.
Makeup?
I like to
Well-
apologize to the listeners for how like fucked up my accent gets when I try to drop my voice.
Oh, you're good. Lift your chin.
You really think they'll feel bad for me because of some cuts and scrapes?
Oh, you're not good at listening to instructions, are you? The prosecution has to get 12 strangers to agree that you killed 5 men. Each charge has to be unanimous, a perfect score. So any chip damage we can do, any doubt we can sow, we take it. In chat, Seraph says, Tetris, Factorio, Rhythm Heaven Fever, some strategy logistics sim 5 people have ever played. Oh, some strategy/logistics sim 5 people have ever played because it's too hard, and the most popular match 3 everyone hates in the App Store. Yes, you're right.
Trace the nuke.
Pretty good.
And any advantage we're given, we make full use of it.
But the advantages you're talking about is my face.
Oh. Are you really not used to this kind of attention, Sosuke?
Look, it may be true that at times some women have expressed.
And men. And men, no doubt.
Please, Yoshi, Sarah, let's go.
She's so
All I'm
real for
saying-
that, honestly.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between knowing your strengths and powdering up like this.
Pretend it's war paint.
Is that how you see it?
No, but I'm a grown-up. Fuck off. Alright. Mob history, I guess.
Thank you for entertaining my questions last night, Sosuke.
Did she ask you about your dimensions?
The subject might have come up.
She's a talkative one, isn't she?
Sorry if she kept you up all night.
No, she's no trouble, just curious. Reminds me of... we discussed history.
Oh, well, then she must have put you right to sleep.
Mm,
Adonai, it was his choice of subject.
Oh, so you read history, Sosuke? Here I assumed you spent all your free time frowning in the corners of rooms with your arms crossed.
Oh my god. We talked about the Roman Empire for your information.
and criminal empires.
Nothing too detailed, I hope.
But Sosuke, I still don't understand. What did you mean when you said criminal organizations used to be structured differently?
I love when Morgan makes a faux pas because when she steps in it, she really steps in it. So true.
Yeah.
All of the old ways don't fit our new 21st century world.
Old ways.
Well,
He's talking about race, Sarah.
Race? I don't understand.
Well, that's to be expected. After all, you share 98% of your components with a washing machine.
Jesus, Morgan. That is an untrue and unflattering comparison.
Maybe you do get it.
like, Sarah. Names like Mafia, Gokudo, Sanheihui, they all came from different cultures, but they all refer to a kind of path. An outsider's path and the pride that comes with living by your own set of rules. Those were the first criminal organizations. Underground guilds, lending systems, militias, secret societies.
Sure, they were basically just big, friendly charities.
Then the world got smaller and people started moving around and the Mafia changed. They came a way for immigrants to band together to have some kind of power in places that wouldn't give them a chance at anything remotely respectable.
Holy shit.
But the world kept getting smaller and more complex, and eventually that kind of community couldn't form, let alone survive.
Why?
Not enough shared experiences.
Fucked up that this also is like... This is just pinging thoughts about the Blue Bloods, and how the Blue Bloods is completely fractured internally because of the Old Guard and the Young Bloods.
Yeah?
Because none of the Old Guard's children have lived. And they can't control the Young Bloods, who have a different perspective on what the organization should be like.
shared experiences. I see.
Meanwhile, the old guard also has to deal with the sort of trauma of having everybody under the age of 40 just be absolutely slaughtered, and the young bloods just have no fucking clue what that feels like at all.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fancy way of saying the internet came along.
Well, yes, technology negates the physical distance between people. When you spend most of your life online, you end up with more in common with people on the other side of the planet than your own neighbors.
True.
Treya, just because of where your recommendations take you.
Also true.
So, the immigrant experience disappeared?
Fractured, more like. Cracked into a million shards with a hammer. While generational or economic experiences got cemented.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go, Mac.
The world is more diverse and varied than it's ever been in every sense. Except economically.
Wealth inequality is at historic highs.
Oh, fuck. If it's at historic highs in 2086.
Uh-huh.
And it's already bad right now.
As it has been every year for...
Since before I was born.
To answer your question, Sarah, that's what binds the members of a criminal organization together. Their socioeconomic status.
Yeah, that's basically the only thing that's keeping the Blue Bloods together in any way, shape, or form. That is purely a reading.
Actually, Korea is at the top. The Blue Bloods lie below us. Within each organization, wealth is concentrated among the leadership, of course, but each mafia exists in entirely different strata.
What could a banana cost, Sarah? $1,000?
I see. I've also read about an organization called the Rust being active here in the city. Are they in the poverty class, then?
The Rust? I'd put them in the anarchy class. Glowing tattoos and spiked hair, chrome biceps and sharpened teeth. The Blue Bloods, for all their faults, can put on a tie and go to work, but I can't see the Rust experiencing any kind of social mobility.
Careful, Sosuke. The Rust is being that classist.
The Rust wouldn't care about anything I said or who I stand with. They don't need any excuse to start ripping open borders and grabbing whatever they can.
Things like that happen in the city?
Only in the shadows, Sarah. Nowhere you'd ever find yourself.
Uh-huh.
Oh, finally run out of steam?
On to the grim business, then. How'd things go with your investigation? Not bad, was it?
Nonsense. It was pretty bad. With what I've seen so far, there's no one else who could have killed Chopin. Even if I managed to pick apart all the evidence for the pod's deaths, they've got a police officer who will swear on the stand that he arrested Sosuke standing over his partner's dead body.
What's it going to look like in there?
You've never been inside a courtroom?
Never as a defendant. I'm just wondering how many cops I should expect.
Ooh, in the gallery? A sea of blue. Cheap intimidation tactics.
Well, yeah, I can't fault them for that. We'd line up much the same for one of ours.
You say that, and yet I don't see any other Ikaria around.
This is a completely different scenario. And the house can't afford to appear besides a cop killer when they're being audited by the state.
Great.
How understanding of you.
I don't know. I think Sosuke is sad that his friends haven't shown up.
Good catch.
I love the fucking Morgan's robot is more socially aware than she is.
Yeah. You were hired by Makoto of House Ikaria, weren't you, Atanai? Surely he would want to be in attendance.
Don't be absurd. Makoto shouldn't be transported anywhere without a full security team. Besides which, he shouldn't be put through a long elevator ride to this 48th floor just for my sake.
What's so bad about an elevator ride?
Is he claustrophobic?
No, that is yes, but you cannot tell anyone, understand?
Who the hell would I tell that to?
Right.
Look, it's illegal to stream trial proceedings under most circumstances, but I'm sure House Ikaria doesn't mind paying a fine. They'll be watching from somewhere in the courtroom.
All of that would be a waste of the house's coin. But I suppose they might consider keeping an eye on the case's progression.
As will the Blue Bloods, no doubt.
Adonai? I think Sosuke's spirits have rallied.
Oh, really? How can you tell? Hi!
Hi, Emma. Hi.
He lifted his gaze and his eyes seemed brighter, as if...
Really funny to have this line right here as Emma is approaching. Ah!
Literally.
Good. Now try and keep his spirits high.
How do I do that?
Oh, think of something fun.
Right. Yes.
Yep. She's always being framed in Morgan's eyes as the sole subject of the frame. With the light
Literally.
around her, no background. God!
Sosuke, shall we arm wrestle? Oh. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Emma. You seem tired. Want to push this off till next week?
Actually, that sounds... Hey.
Sorry. But we'll be facing off soon enough. Well, and why not savor the playfulness while we still can?
Fair enough.
Losing sleep over this case?
Not really, no. Things look pretty cut and dry to me. What about you? You toss and turn all night before your big debut as a mob lawyer?
Not at all. I slept like a rock.
Jesus, girl. Lucky. I mean, I've been getting good rest more or less, just been having a lot of late nights recently.
Late nights? Like, going out?
No.
Oh.
Just late night chats.
Emma?
Chatting about what?
God, look at all of them. Never seen so many cops in one building.
Morgan is so obsessed with her, I can't. Yeah,
It's-
the coloring! Ah!
They'd bring a marching band into the courtroom if they could. Theater.
The implication of her jealousy is mwah.
So good.
Right. Well, theater and trial weren't all that... oh god, my voice. Where is it going? Theater and trial weren't all that far apart back in ancient Greece.
Would hope we'd progressed since then.
You don't approve of this show of force, I take it?
Is it that obvious? I'd like to say this is because of who Chopin's family is, but we both know that's not what this is really about. A cop is dead. The state wants to make it clear that that isn't tolerated.
Cops volunteer to defend our laws and protect us citizens.
Volunteers don't get paid. Besides, cops, courts, the state, all they can do is enforce the laws, not defend them. Guns and arms can't defend against corrosion anyway. Rot comes from the deep.
So you'd rather that than the death of a police officer get the same treatment as any other citizen?
Suppose that's not possible. They get increasingly fewer chances to play the victim every year, and they never let the opportunity pass.
I do think that this is Emma saying all cops are bastards, which I really respect her for as a prosecutor.
I don't think
for sure.
I don't think Emma thinks that.
Yeah, No, I guess the best I could hope for is that the state makes the same show of force whenever any crime is committed.
Okay, never mind.
If they treated every death like the death of a cop, maybe I could have caught HBK by now.
You're still on that?
Of course, shooting deaths are down, but do you know how many missing person cases there are in this city? How many deaths get written up as mod harvesting attacks gone wrong? It's a big city, Morgan. More than enough blood running through the streets for HBK to launder their kills in.
You shouldn't joke like that.
What? You don't believe me? Just last month, missing person. The report was filed by their employer when they didn't show up to work, 7 days after they'd last been seen by anyone. They were just some part-time worker, no close friends, no family. They went to work, and they came home, paid their bills, and they disappeared. And no one cared or even noticed until their job didn't get done and those bills went unpaid. No one noticed until they stopped buying in. The body was found a full 2 weeks later. The decay was...
What happened to them?
blunt force to the back of the head. Something metallic with a sharp corner, we think.
It was a roughly cubed machine part I pulled from a dumpster nearby.
Oh.
Fit snugly in my hand and it caved through his skull like a shovel through snow.
Kicked into the bay. Might not even have been weighed down. Just thrown away like a cheap.
That's terrible. Do you find any belongings on them?
No.
Probably a mugging bag, right?
No, there would have been other injuries from a struggle. And a thief who accidentally committed murder would be too panicked, too terrified to...
You know how muggers think now?
I can learn how anyone thinks. Even HBK with a robust enough profile.
You sure about that? Well, good luck building it all by your lonesome.
I'm not working on this by myself. Oh, sorry, right. Did you want to beg for mercy real quick before we begin?
Oh, now where would be the fun in that?
courtroom 48D. The courtroom gallery is quite full today, isn't it?
Awash in a sea of pissed off cops.
It doesn't exactly shore up one's confidence, does it?
5 counts of murder would be newsworthy any day of the week. Add in the fact that one of the bodies belongs to a cop and a crowd was to be expected. Didn't think they'd be so quiet, though. Maybe they're all just waiting for the firing pistol before they start casting their stones. Oh, don't let it get to you, Sosuke. They're just posturing.
Posturing, I understand. I've been in attendance for my share of tense negotiations. But the bloodlust in those rooms was always mutual.
You don't feel any animosity towards these cops?
I'm used to summoning my temper on command. I might have forgotten how to get angry for my own sake.
You just worry about the jury.
Well, what about the adjutant? They cannot be intimidated by muscle, bribed with cash, or disarmed with fine tailoring. All of which makes them quite favored when it comes to prosecuting organized crime.
Have you been in court many times before, then?
It's an eye for an eye in the world we operate in. We don't file assault charges, we just answer them. Though even that has become rare, the house is elevated. Blue Bloods and Rust and all the rest of the rabble. We're beyond their reach now.
Sorry.
But when it comes to our peers, we communicate very differently.
Must make being a bodyguard pretty boring.
I think your work sounds very rewarding and exciting, Sosuke.
Thank you.
Especially the other day when you were captured and beaten by your rivals.
Oh, thanks, Sarah.
Yes. What I was trying to hint at, Morgan, is that you should not be expecting assistance from the house.
Honestly, the thought hadn't crossed my mind. Being on the winning side for once? What the hell would that even feel like?
So there won't be any men in black approaching the jury during lunch and offering them paper bags of cash?
No!
Not even any, random chip bags with, $50 in them?
Well, if we do really bad, we won't even make it to lunch, so...
Sosuke, what are you staring at? Are you looking for the jury?
No, I know they aren't here. It used to be mandated that juries be physically present for court proceedings. People felt that it was important they look the accused in the eye.
To help them evaluate their character?
Why bother? Most people suck at that. Always have.
True. Perhaps it was considered part of the punishment then. To have to look them in their eyes.
A punishment for the jury or the defendant?
Alright, kiddos. Chins up, shoulders out. Show's about to start.
I just remembered. Do you think the adjutant assigned to this particular case...
Let's go!
Obviously, it's gonna be me. Obviously.
Let's fucking go.
I mean, that's a gimme. Easy.
How?
It's 80. What are the chances?
Let's talk about her.
Let's talk about her.
Dislikes happy couples who ask you to take their photo.
Oh my god. Pineapple
But
on
he-
pizza until proven guilty is really good.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Let he who is without sin play first, or draw first.
Phenomenal, phenomenal,
He
phenomenal!
has the higher seed.
I love her so much. There should be at least 83 other personalities in the building's network. At least. I need y'all to know, I think I talked about this a couple, right after it happened. But when I was at MagFest, I made Jay play the truncated version of episode 0 that they have to show off at conventions, and 80 is just a fucking onslaught of meta references, fourth wall breaks. She's so fucking funny.
Really good. Well, Your Honor, thank you for...
Presiding is so honorably, I do try.
I love picturing the ranks of fucking like pissed off cops staring at her while she like does her type 5 comedy routine at the start of the trial.
So funny.
Because it's a trial. Tough crowd as usual. That's not counting all the grim monoliths standing tall out there in the galley. Who died?
5 people, Your Honor.
Yikes, what's the damage?
2 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of homicide in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of homicide in the 1st degree.
Buddy, you trying to get a gold split with all that? What's with the record-setting grind set?
The prosecution stands ready.
So, shall we begin?
Initializing.
Oh, this is awesome. Hell fucking yeah.
Your credit's always good
Cool.
here is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stressed. Yeah, that rips shit.
Now let's crack open these opening statements and get this case summarized.
Gladly, Your Honor. People of the court. The defendant in this case is a man named Sosuke Ikaruya. He was found at the scene of the crime where 2 men were shot to death. One was stabbed in the neck, another had their skull bashed in, and a police officer was impaled through the back with a sword.
The stock prices going down was very good.
Yeah.
Line go
Please-
down.
Please pardon any outbursts from the gallery that your mics may inadvertently pick up. Now, I understand that the scale of violence on display here today may intimidate you. But I want to stress to all of you now that your responsibility here today is neither taxing nor complex. You will hear testimony, you will be shown evidence, and all of it will point towards the truth. That the defendant is the only individual who could have possibly committed these crimes.
Hilarious.
That is a simple fact. And the only one you need concern yourself with.
Ooh, she's cold as ice! But every ice age beckons a kindling. For ashes contest in his numbers form champions.
Defense is ready, Your Honor. Emma did stick to cold logic, so if I follow her with more of the same, it'll end up falling flat.
The loathsome dung eater!
This gallery will never warm up to us. That can work to our advantage if the jury comes to see these cops as witch hunters eager to start a pyre. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Go for broke!
Hell yeah.
Well, it's not like Masters never taught me anything. I know how to do the razzle-dazzle. My fellow citizens, you were brought here today because an act of violence took place that could only be described as unspeakable.
Absolutely unspeakable.
Unspeakable. I should know. I was there. I saw the blood on the ground, the bullet holes in the walls, felt the...
Gotta be malevolence, right?
Malevolence.
Yeah, gotta be malevolence.
Gotta be malevolence. Felt the malevolence that radiated in the air. And I also saw where my client was held prisoner. And I knew exactly where he must have stood, because his sweat and blood had stained the tile. My client, a decorated veteran, the man you see standing next to me here, not even fully healed from his...
Trauma. Or, I don't know, trauma or torture, maybe.
I think torture.
Torture it is. From his torture, was taken into police custody with lacerations, bruises, internal bleeding, broken bones. And while he was in police custody, he somehow sustained a black eye, a busted lip, a broken nose, and a boxed ear. I think boxed ear is light, but okay. A puzzle which I'm sure any one of the officers in the gallery today would be happy to testify about.
You gonna let her say that? You want me to object during the opening statement?
Much is resting on the outcome of this trial. 5 men lie dead in the morgue. One of them, a police officer, Tariq.
Don't speak stingy,
Don't
no
speak
lawyer,
his name.
bitch.
Hang him up! Hang her too!
This is...
Hey, we like to have fun in this courtroom, put on a good show. But that's because we're on stage. Any more outbursts from the gallery and I'll clear the whole room. You can watch the rest on your phones or peek in through a keyhole like a bunch of sweaty looky-loos. Counselor, let's wrap this up.
Yes, Your Honor. The fact of the matter is, on that night, my client was not in any condition to kill anyone. Not 4 hardened criminals, and certainly not a trained police officer. And nothing about my client's background, his associations, or that of the victims can change that fact. So as you listen to all of the evidence in this trial, with fairness as impartiality as I know you will strive to,
Her sweet
I
smile.
only ask that you focus on the reality of this horrible crime, and not on the fiction that the people will try to weave for you. Thank you.
Decorated veteran.
You telling me you never earned a single commendation? Most push-ups of the day or something?
Never mind, I suppose it could have gone much worse.
Oh, you're too kind.
I was trying to be honest. The crowd got agitated, but you maintained a level head and recovered your temper.
Adonai is a master at doing so. I've seen her make comebacks from the most nonsensical mistakes before. In martial arts, they call it an ukemi, a graceful fall.
That is basically correct.
Try not to gracefully fall over when you see the first witness on the docket, Sosuke.
What do you mean by that?
Oh no. Your name and occupation for the record.
How could that be necessary? If some blathering idiot in the courtroom doesn't already know who I am, they don't deserve.
I know, but... Oh my god. I know, but would you consider it if only for the sake of ceremony?
Ceremony is important and should be respected. Very well.
Emma knows how to play him like a fiddle.
Yeah.
I am Makoto Ikaria of House Ikaria. My occupation is that of student.
Try not to look so smug about it when you blatantly lie.
Right, of course. And your position with the Ikaria Financial Group?
Is not salaried. Must I declare it here?
Hard to imagine why the noble house of Ikaria is getting audited.
Sosuke, are you alright?
I'm gonna die in prison. He can see us.
You can see me, Rockford, and the adjutant. Witnesses teletestify and don't really need much else.
So he's safe.
Yes, Sosuke, he's safe, like he was yesterday. Probably sitting right where I left him, or standing on a box. I think the hologram's given him a boost so he can see over the stand.
That's good.
The boost to his height?
That he's safe at home.
I'm sorry that he can't see you, Sosuke.
Don't be. It's how horribly I failed him.
I'd like you to speak a bit about the events of August 13th. About the last time you saw the defendant, Sosuke Ikaria.
I'm here today, not physically, but here nonetheless, as a courtesy. That does not mean I will flap my gums like some sort of gum-flapping puppet. Flapping gum puppet. That's better, yes. We'll go with that.
Permission to treat the witness as hostile incoming. Emma Rockford raking a spoiled brat over the coals. This will almost be worth the price of admission alone.
I understand. It was a traumatic experience, I'm sure.
Wait,
Larkin,
what?
you fool. You've never seen a child with more obvious parental issues.
Anyone of
Emma
normal
does
upbringing, no literally, would barely be able to recall a single detail, let alone the day's full events.
Normal upbringing?
I should probably dismiss you so you can get back to your summer studies.
Summer studies like some common waif?
Waif? That's quite the vocab pull. I didn't know they taught that in State Basic.
Basic?
This is very funny. This is a very funny tactic by Emma Rockford. I love her so much.
She's a true genius.
Do we
Are you
think...
calling me basic?
This is a really important question from the chat. Do we think Makoto has been exposed to the important historical cultural pieces Sesame Street and The Muppet Show?
No, I
Definitely
think they
not.
banned those years ago. Was I mistaken?
Listen well, Madam Rockford, as I demonstrate to you exactly how misguided you are about my powers of retention.
Oh no.
Please do.
Played like a damn fiddle. Hey!
Why wasn't she mentioned during any of our trial preparations?
Let's talk about Emma Rockford now, actually.
Oh, please. Let's see. Lakes Art Museum, Amethyst, and turn-based RPG. She's out here
And she
playing
really is
fucking...
Jacqueline.
Oh my god. Favorite quote. Flower in the mirror, moon on the water.
Exercises by subject seemed not to hear the question.
I love her.
I love
I
her.
love her so much.
So much.
Adonai has only won against her once.
So far, every hot streak starts somewhere.
Hot streak. I really am going to prison, aren't I?
Shane, you weren't even joking before. He was actually going to say that. That's so good.
Makoto back, PB.
Where shall I start?
Here we go.
As far back as you can.
Phew, a simple task.
I feel like the actual answer to why didn't any trial preparations include her is you don't prepare for Emma Rockford. You just
There is
kind of have
nothing
to
that you
go
could do
with
to
it.
mitigate this.
It's simply a natural disaster.
Yes. You
For
think
the past
you
year,
go PB and I'll say
ahead.
anything after.
For the past year, members of the organization, most commonly referred to as the Blue Blood Mafia, have been making attempts upon my life.
The thing about Emma that I think Morgan has learned is that you try to prepare for her, and then she goes so out of left field that you simply cannot hope to go. You just can't. You just can't.
What do you mean you aren't working on the fucking case alone?
Yeah,
Who else
straight
is
up.
there?
Did you steal their lunch money or something? I am the primary beneficiary of my grandfather, Daisuke Ikaria's will. In common parlance, I am the sole heir of the Ikaria financial group. You could buy so much lunch.
80 in the background just doing a running commentary is so funny. She did mention late night chats, but with who?
The group you know as the Blue Bloods have been jealous of my family's financial foresight for decades.
Oh, that's what we're calling it now.
Uh-huh.
I am merely the most recent target of their impotent attempts to nip at our heels.
And 2 days ago, on August 13th, how impotent was their attempt then?
I was leaving a meeting held on the upper floors of Crane Tower. My security detail escorted me to the elevators, where we would then proceed down to their canopy access floors.
This was all planned out in advance?
By my head of security, Sosuke Ikaria. But the elevator became stuck, with unnatural timing. When Sosuke pried the doors open, we saw we were stuck between the 62nd and 61st floors.
Pried open with a tool?
Leading the witness, Your Honor?
He didn't need a tool to open the doors. His bare hands were more than sufficient.
Makoto!
Help Sosuke out here, kid.
We submit into evidence the defendant's Akita Type 2 military-grade spinal mod, designed to enhance strength, endurance, and reflexes for high-intensity combat scenarios.
Yes, sir. It's admitted.
What happened next?
The decision was made we would crawl out onto the 61st floor and head for the service elevators. But once Sosuke and I exited, the elevator started up. It was a trap. We had been cut off from the rest of my detail.
You were isolated and defenseless. That must have been...
Ha! Hardly defenseless.
Oh,
You really think my personal head of security wouldn't be armed?
Oh, you're messing it up so bad, kid.
He's like
What do you mean? I'm doing excellent. He had Yoru.
Oh, don't tell me. You named your sword?
Holy shit!
All great swords have names.
Thank you, Sarah. Very well put.
He's so fucking nerdy. Let the records show that the witness has identified Exhibit B3 as belonging to the defendant. The sword was recovered by the police in the known Blue Blood Den in the lower wards. Found impaled into the body of Tariq Chopin. And forensics has shown that the only fingerprints on it are those of the defendant.
There's still time for you to disown it, Sosuke.
You understand nothing about a swordsman of heart, Adonai.
Once again, it is your paralegal that has the right of it. Perhaps she should be leading my defense.
Sosuke, come on.
If this somehow turns into a fencing competition, I'll gladly defer to you two.
So you, Sosuke, and Yoru were on the 61st floor together. What happened next?
When we arrived at the service elevators, Sosuke called them and they made a chime. Ding! Like that. I didn't see clearly much of what happened next, to tell the truth. Figures emerged from around the corners. They were aiming weapons at me. A red dot shone upon my chest.
Jesus, kid.
And then Sosuke was there with a needle sticking out of his arm. Yoru glinted. Sosuke had drawn it in the blink of an eye. Something glanced off of it and dropped to the floor. I saw a syringe at my feet.
You have to stop talking.
Okay, well, on the other hand, deflecting
Yoru's
when you
sheath
pull the
was
sword is
thrust
kick
into
out.
my arms, pushing me back into the elevator, and I landed on my... Took us. That's clearly a key piece of testimony. Let's play it back 5 times. What matters is he pushed me back into the elevator with Yoru's sheath. How I landed is irrelevant and should be stricken from all public records.
Yeah, for our fucking luck, that's gonna be like the winning piece of evidence that we need to remember.
We will need to play it 5 times.
The only other thing I saw was Sosuke's back.
It is like a dragon tattoo.
He slammed his head against the elevator's control panel and the door slammed shut.
That's the last time you saw the defendant.
The decision was made I should get to on a VTOL as soon as possible.
Like a Puppy, the famous spin-off series.
True.
but much of my details stayed behind to assess what had happened.
Yes, they were very helpful to building security and recovering Exhibit 5C, this hypodermic needle gun.
What kind of bonehead would leave evidence like that at a crime scene?
A bonehead in a rush, perhaps, Your Honor. It does appear to have exhausted its gas canister, so it may have outlived its usefulness.
I take it that this weapon is a match for the projectile needles found in the room where my client was restrained?
Correct. Others exactly like them were recovered from the scene of the ambush as well. Makoto, did you see the faces of the men who attacked you?
Ha! All too clearly! I can tell you every detail of the roughshod countenances. Oh, that sounds like a good bit of testimony. Hit it!
Oh shit.
A pineapple-head-like man and a raincoat-clad hooligan came at us first. They aimed at me, but Sosuke got between us and blocked every shot. With Yoru, he could have closed the distance, but then a dark-eyed scoundrel approached from the right. And a man with a ridiculous pompadour took advantage of the distraction.
Shout out Creek.
I'll never forget the faces of those cowards. They tried to kill me! So whatever happened to them afterwards, I'm sure they deserved it.
So we only have two pieces of evidence, which is the needles and Yoru, and I don't know how Yoru can be used here.
Yeah, no, I think the thing to
That's
call
the
there is they were
needles.
trying to kill him.
Yeah, because they're trying to capture him, clearly.
Makoto's putting his talents for hyperbole on full display. I'll have to fact check his description in order to get the ball rolling. Also, because if they were trying to kill him, because Sosuke had a needle in his arm, he would be dead.
Uh-huh.
Also true.
Just gotta let it play out again.
Blah 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 blah.
Ba 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 ba.
The witness will refrain from simply saying "ba."
Me 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 me. That's what you sound like. Or we could object to the fact that the pompadour is ridiculous when actually it's just cool.
That's a good possibility.
Hit it.
Wanna bet? They couldn't have been trying to kill the witness, not with non-lethal projectiles.
They fired a lot of them. The witness doesn't weigh that much.
Don't try it. This attack was clearly planned with the intent of capturing Makoto alive.
Meaning what? That 4 of this case's victims were actually soft-hearted pacifists?
There's nothing soft-hearted about what they did to my client after capturing him. Using tools they clearly originally planned to use on the witness.
So they're sadists. I'm getting confused here.
So is the defense, Your Honor. What matters is that witnesses identify the defendant's captors as the 4 blue blood victims that he is accused of murdering.
Makoto did establish that much. Hold on a second. Sorry. I took my glasses off to clean them because I did not expect to be doing this. But something about this attack still bothers me. Emma put Makoto in the stand specifically to identify the victims? Is it possible that the men who attacked them weren't Creek's pod? No. Right?
Huh. It's interesting, though, because...
Possible? But I don't think so, because we specifically mentioned the pompadour.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have been.
That's true.
What, are they just gonna throw another 4 random people in the middle of this?
Oh, but isn't that quite fun?
It's a
could
fun,
be
but I feel
fun.
like it's overly complex.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I don't disagree, Your Honor. The men who attacked Makoto and took Sosuke captive are the same ones who ended up dead that night. But 2 questions do occur to me. Why were you safe on that service elevator if Sosuke surely collapsed the very moment it shut? Wouldn't these men have pursued you by any means necessary?
That is...
I can answer that, Your Honor. When the police inspected the scene, they found that the control panel for calling that elevator on the 61st floor was broken. Mashed, in fact. The attackers would have had to manually pry open the doors to even attempt to chase after Makoto. And that would take remarkable, modded strength. Did you mash the button that forcefully, Sosuke?
I may have used more force than necessary. I wasn't exactly trying to hold myself back at the time.
He hit the controls hard enough to break them? So the Blue Bloods couldn't pursue you further and instead elected to take Sosuke captive.
A Sosuke in the hand is better than a Makoto in the bush.
I've heard that saying.
Seems right. The head of Makoto's security would surely have made for an invaluable source of information for planning future attacks. Were he made to talk. Are you denying that?
No, but I would like to ask the witness one other question. Why did you get off the elevator in the first place?
Argan, he asked you not to talk about this in public.
Oh God.
What are you? Hey, wait, I mentioned in the lobby earlier, that's...
The mics might not be picking up on it for you, but from where I'm standing, I can't help but overhear my client groaning about how badly he failed you.
Oh my God. That's not evidence or testimony, and so should be stricken from the record.
But we get the idea. So was bailing out early the defendant's big brain idea? As my personal security detail, such a decision was ultimately his to make. However, that decision may have been influenced by his knowledge of the fact that I, am not especially comfortable in enclosed spaces.
What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to humiliate him?
In part. I'm also trying to insult you.
Had we simply waited, I would have been safe, but I was not comfortable and felt very warm. So it was not a tactical fail on Sosuke's part, per se.
Just an error of judgment.
Counselor Morgan.
What's up? You can disconnect the call if...
Ask me another question.
Oh my gosh.
Ask me about how bravely Sosuke defended me.
Huh. So that's your angle.
We can't all be as naturally gifted at extracting valuable testimony out of spoiled brats as Emma. But I can follow her example. Insult their pride and the Ikaria snap back as reliable as any knee-jerk reaction. And in Makoto's case, with infinitely less resistance than if I had simply asked him to testify.
It's usually the lawyers who are doing the asking and the witnesses who are doing the answering. This is not very realistic.
We ask that the witness testify for the court in more detail about exactly how valiantly Sosuke fought off the attackers.
And I guess the people don't object, even though it seems super extra.
No, the people don't object, Your Honor.
Emma's playing passively. Either I'm onto something here, or I'm walking into a trap. Screw it. All in on the former.
Thank God we don't have to make the choice. Blame's off our shoulders.
Needle gun, needles, Sosuke medical records, okay.
Sosuke was outnumbered from the beginning and protected me the whole time. It didn't matter that we were ambushed or that the Blue Bloods had projectiles. Sosuke took up Yoru in both hands and swatted their needles out of the air like a graceful swatter. He fought off 4 attackers and without sustaining a single injury. Well, except for the needle. But don't mention that. Don't mention that. Mock him if you dare for being captured. But it's not a failure by any general's definition. Not by any general definition of the word.
Hearing Makoto describe Sosuke's heroism, it's almost more impressive the second time.
Oh my god.
He definitely fought without a care for himself. And there's evidence to show it. Oh, well, okay, yeah. I mean, look at him. The makeup can only hide so much.
Sosuke was outnumbered from the beginning and protected me the whole time.
Can we click through this?
Oh wait, we're
Yes.
going through this, yeah.
Okay, we can. That's good.
Yoru. 4 attackers.
I mean, medical records is
Okay,
pretty
medical
obvious.
records, yeah.
Oh, it even says a hand injury, like from a punch.
Oh, yeah.
Unscathed is the last thing anyone call my client after the events of that day. One look at his medical data from when he was arrested will tell you that much.
What are you getting at, Counselor? The defendant's injuries were sustained at the Blue Blood's den, not at Crane Tower. The police didn't even find one drop of blood anywhere near that service elevator.
Well, that is a miracle, a bloodless ambush. But the fact that no blood found makes it all the more painfully obvious what actually happened to that elevator panel.
The elevator panel? Ugh!
My client broke half the bones in his left hand smashing it up.
Holy shit. Did you really?
I might have. There was a lot of adrenaline at the time.
Did you not form a proper fist? Was your wrist not in alignment with your forearm?
As I said, Sarah, there was a lot of adrenaline.
Do you deny that his medical record clearly shows his left hand was broken?
Your Honor, what does it matter that the defendant broke his left hand closing that elevator? It changes nothing about the witness's testimony.
That's true.
No, it changes everything.
No, it doesn't fucking contradict anything. Right?
Yeah, I think
I
his
can't think
testimony
of
is
what
still
it
fine.
changes.
It doesn't change anything, I don't think.
Honestly, this is the funniest place for a stay or raise, because I'm like, I don't see a contradiction here. Sosuke's hand getting injured doesn't change what we've learned from this witness. What it does change is the possibility that he couldn't hold his sword with two hands. But it does change the evidence you had him identify for the court.
The katana.
Yoru. Call it by its name.
Yoru.
Its name is Yoru. We get it. Did you have a point to make, Counselor?
There's something odd about the katana that's been entered into evidence. Something that makes no sense given what we've learned about the outcome of this ambush. Namely, the sword's...
Prince? It would be Prince, right?
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
about what hand he could use?
Yeah. Namely, the fingerprints that were found on the sword's handle. Fingerprints belonging to Sosuke's right hand.
You're contradicting yourself, Counselor. We've already discussed how it was your client's left hand that he broke closing the elevator. There's nothing contradictory about him using his right arm to wield the blade.
It could be like this because Sosuke has two hands. I know you might have forgotten that.
The people are correct. The sword found at the scene of the crime has my client's right hand fingerprints on its handle. Despite the fact that this witness just testified that Sosuke was swinging it with both hands.
Like a graceful swatter, specifically.
Oh yeah, he did say that. So, did the little tyke misremember?
It was a chaotic situation where he feared for his life. The court should hardly expect him to have kept track of such an inconsequential detail.
Have you already forgotten my magnanimous powers of recollection?
Her tactics from earlier backfired.
Because that's not what magnanimous means.
I'll have you know that I can recite all my subordinates' birthdays down to the hour.
That's so funny, actually!
That's awesome, what the hell?
Marco,
Do
why
it right
do you
now.
know that?
So I can send each of them a fruit basket with a personalized note. Write them all down so I can calculate their moon size later.
It doesn't matter whether the witness is mistaken about Sosuke's grip, Your Honor. Because we have a much bigger issue to address. Why this sword has only my client's fingerprints on it. Makoto testifies that Sosuke wielded this katana in his defense. An act of bravery that ended with my client face down on the floor of Crane Tower. He later woke up, held captive in the lower wards. I'll state the obvious here and say while he was unconscious, he was moved. You know, for the record. And so the sword we have in the record must have also been handled by... Okay, well, hi. This is the only member of the pod.
They'll
Should we... Hold on.
refer to him by name, maybe? Yeah, Max that shit out.
Let's go.
Oh, I have to drag it, that's right. Our poor victim, Creek, of course.
What do you mean?
Sosuke was knocked unconscious at Crane Tower. That means that someone else must have brought his sword down to the lower wards. The only people who had the opportunity to do so would have been his captors.
You mean his victims?
People can be two things, Rockford.
Withdrawn.
Either voluntarily or in response to an objection sustained by a judge, attorney may withdraw their comments. Officially, juries are to disregard any comments that have been withdrawn and should not take them into consideration when evaluating the evidence, witnesses, or charges laid before them. So is that she just withdraw the thing that she said? Yes.
Yeah. The defense is forgetting a fairly simple fact, Your Honor. There's more than one way to hold a sword.
80.
A worm?
80, we can't keep doing this!
Oh. In case the defense needs it clarified, Creek could have simply held the sword by its scabbard.
Is that true?
I don't think it's true.
I don't think
It
so.
would have needed to get put back in its scabbard first. It's
Yeah,
not
this is
he
also
sheathed the
true.
Sword.
You would have to be like really weirdly precise to... You'd have to be like trying to not to get your fingerprints on the handle, and why would he give a fuck about that? So like, yeah.
I
was it?
do, in fact, have that same little guy with green hair on my phone. It is my Sarah charm that I got from, the Of the Devil booth at MagFest that we then put on our phone in-game. You know, because I have it in real life. Okay, so, are we raising?
I think so.
Oh, that's not possible, Your Honor. Makoto has already testified that
Oh,
Sosuke
also
left
that.
the sword scabbard with him when he thrust him back into the elevator.
Those sheaths was thrust into my arms, pushing me back into the elevator, and I landed on my ass.
Hey, it did become relevant!
I see. And since the cursed sword can't be resheathed until it's tasted blood,
Yes, Your Honor, very well said. We would have found the scabbard at Blue Blood's den if Creek or his men had taken it with them. Instead, I imagine Makoto took it home.
You think he took key evidence from his own assault and kept it from the police?
He's 8!
of course I did.
Oh, Makoto.
As if I would trust officers of the law to properly handle the family heirloom as precious as your sheath.
See, he is saying a cat, but it's because he's a mobster.
Impressive insight, Adonai. But what does this actually mean? Is there some mistake with how the evidence was handled?
Oh, there's no mistakes here. This was all done with intention. The intention to frame my client by putting his fingerprints onto that sword after the real culprit had already handled it.
Shit.
Whoever that
Hey!
villain could have been.
What a load of bullshit!
What a bullshit.
And the crowd goes wild. Though it does make a certain kind of sense.
Because it's the truth. I did wipe that katana's handle down after removing it from Trey's throat. Sosuke just happened to be foolish enough to pick it up himself afterwards. It's frustrating having to keep all my best cards up my sleeve this time around. But the look on Emma's face when I do get to toss them out is, oh, shit.
The people are more than ready to counter, if it pleases the court.
Gestures to this music, which is one of the new tracks composed for this episode, which I listened to recently and went, fuck, alright.
Let's fucking go.
Let's
It's so
fucking
good.
roll.
Specifically by Lena Raine, who also did the Celeste soundtrack, and also like
Yeah.
some of the backs in Minecraft.
Hell
Oh.
yeah.
I also saw these come across my dashboard lately.
I did see someone online say that it feels like a track that was pulled out of Umineko, and I'm listening to it and going, yeah, it sure
Yeah,
does.
it does.
The other comparison I would say is that it feels kind of like a Terezi theme in Homestuck.
Oh my
Yeah!
god. Fuck off.
Like,
Fuck you.
Like, realizing that this relationship is just Terezi Vriska,
Oh my
Fuck.
God.
it kind of unlocks a lot.
I can't unsee that.
What if Rezi was a little more Umineko with it? Yeah.
Yeah!
Oh.
The defense has made an admirable effort to barrel ahead with this theory. Admirable, but predictable. With a foundation this week, charging ahead and hoping the court won't notice is the only option. Let us speak of the facts. This Creek character led a targeted ambush on the heir to House Ikaria, knowing he'd be guarded by a full security team. The Blue Bloods successfully sabotaged and intercepted Makoto's elevator at the precise floor they wanted, meaning they knew exactly where he'd be and when. And they brought with them drugs capable of disabling a veteran with military-grade mods. Planning and attention to detail may be foreign concepts to the defense, but they should at least be able to recognize them. So is the defense seriously suggesting that after all that preparation, Creek's pod wouldn't bother to wear gloves?
Oh, I'm glad you asked so nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really just say straight out that this has Creek's fingerprints on it.
Also, look
I mean,
at
it
that
could have
haircut.
been one
He's
of those other
clearly an
guys who grabbed the
idiot.
sword, but I feel like we'll get there in a moment.
I like the little, hold on a second. Let's point out the little icons in the corners indicating person and weapon.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
That's
I like
fun.
that. Oh, we don't need to speculate about whether they wore gloves or not. Not when we have Creek's fingerprints on a weapon recovered from the crime scene.
That is...
A pretty good point, actually. Guess these guys were sloppier than we thought. These blackguards were barefaced when they attacked us. Idiots. As though there wouldn't be repercussions for their actions. The least they could have done was disguise themselves.
Oh, strike that from the record, Your Honor. Along with any future comments that suggest the Ikaria would want revenge against these victims.
I was only speaking the plain truth.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
Creek was their leader, correct? If even Creek wasn't wearing gloves, it's hard to imagine that none of them got their prints onto Yoru.
Unless the sword was indeed wiped down at some point afterwards.
Like, right around the time the true culprit was looking for Sosuke to take the fall.
It's a spicy theory.
It's just that, Your Honor. A theory.
A game theory.
A far-fetched, unstable... It's not a game theory. It's not a game. This isn't a game. Court isn't a game. A far-fetched, unstable theory that stacks presuppositions upon each other. Like a flapjack chef substituting quantity for quality. I'll rephrase. This inconsistency is easily answered without jumping through the defense's absurdly arranged hoops.
Oh, that's a little better.
We already know that the Blue Bloods had successfully taken down the Ikaria's head of security. And we already know that they went out of their way to take the defendant captive despite him not being their original target. Furthermore, as the defense has belabored, we know that they decided to take a useless piece of steel with them from the scene of their crime.
Useless?
If we ask why, the answer is obvious. Because orcas are superstitious and immature. They want a trophy. And what is there to do with a trophy? Other than polish it.
Fuck, that was why the cloth was... God damn it.
Cloth
my
from
God.
Creek's desk. I knew she flagged it in the arcs for some reason, but she thought this many steps ahead?
The defense is correct. The sword was wiped down before Sosuke took it up as his murder weapon. By the very same victims he'd go on to claim with it.
That is... completely logical explanation, damn it.
How do we respond to that, Adonai?
We...
Check.
We don't. I can't. It makes perfect sense.
So, does that mean that she's described what actually happened?
Not at all. I wiped off the sword myself because my prints were on it. Same as I wiped my prints off of every other... Right. If I can't find fault with Emma's conclusion, I need to find fault with the logic that led her there.
I see.
Also, it is possible that the pod wiped down the sword, then Morgan used it, and then wiped it down again. That feels
Yeah, it
very
is.
possible too.
That'd be extremely funny.
Oh, yeah. And how do you do that?
By adjusting my aim. As the people say, Your Honor, no one's fingerprints but my client's are on the murder weapon. That only makes sense if he's guilty or being framed.
And there's no evidence to suggest that he's been framed, because his captors had valid reasons for wiping off the sword.
That's true. They did have good reason to wipe off the sword. But that's not the murder weapon I'm referring to. All three
I guess
weapons.
that...
Wait. The only prints on this is Sosuke's left hand.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh.
Because Morgan didn't know and she was framing him.
This gun is the murder weapon I'm referring to.
What?
The police are confident that this Magus is the gun that was used to kill Tanks and Krieg.
And your client was arrested with it on his person. And it has your client's prints on it.
But he was owned by Tanks.
The record shows that Sosuke's are the only fingerprints on the doohickey. That means this Tanks guy never laid a finger on his own gun?
It's entirely possible that Tanks simply liked to polish his gun, too.
Phrasing!
So he was polishing it right up until the moment his captor grabbed it and used it against him?
More phrasing!
Was it before or after his internal bleeding that my client took the gun off Tanks without him even laying a finger on it first? Before or after being tortured that he got the gun with no struggle?
They could have wrestled over the gun while it was out of reach.
Tanks had no injuries besides the hole in his chest. How'd he get into a struggle and not get so much as a scratch?
The likelihood of that scenario...
would seem to come down to the order in which each individual died, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then perhaps we ought to hear a more detailed testimony about that.
Of course.
The defense has no more questions for this witness, Your Honor. We don't object.
Hold on, wait, what are you saying? Okie dokie then, closing the connection. I said, wait, it's Sosuke.
Oh, man. Makoto seemed to be in good spirits, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he was his usually irreproachable self. So how could you find something about that to be depressed over?
I'm ashamed that he testified at all. His appearance here runs the risk of sullying the house's visage with my mistakes.
He couldn't exactly slip the subpoena by claiming he had homework to do.
You, of all people, should understand that the house doesn't have to appear in court if it truly doesn't want to. A fine levied on your account is always preferable to a smudge staining your reputation.
But he did testify.
Yes, and he no doubt went directly against one or more family elders to do so.
Oh.
He should not be incurring debts for my sake.
So he put himself at a disadvantage for you. Do you think Makoto would want you to apologize? Or do you think he'd want you to thank him?
He's young.
That's an understatement.
He doesn't know what he wants yet.
Okay, how are we feeling before we go into another whole set of testimony?
I am okay personally, but want to see what other people feel.
As much as I do want
either
more
way.
Yumi, we're kind of bumping up on 2 hours. Are we? Am I right? Am I dumb? No, we are, yeah.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah. So shall we?
But yeah,
call
I can
it
live with
and
saying it here.
Save Yumi for next time. Yumi Sato, my beloved. Mwah.
Yumi!
Oh,
Alright,
Yumi.
where is save game? my millions upon millions of pages of save file.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, gamers. That'll be it for us. Make sure you come back later tonight. I think we've still got Sleepover Sunday tonight. I don't know what Andrew and Sam are playing. Does anybody know what Andrew and Sam are playing right now?
I could look.
I think they were playing Road to Empress, but I think they finished that.
They definitely did finish that. I remember seeing them finishing that.
It looks like... Don't know why I didn't just realize that going to the Twitch would just show us streaming.
We've all been there.
No, I can't find it. Come back no matter what.
Come back no matter what for whatever Andrew and Sam are doing. And you will see us again next Sunday, I think.
Think so.
I
Probably.
don't have a reason to not be here in the morning, so... Yeah. We'll talk about it and we'll figure it out. Alright. We will catch y'all later. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.